by Palestinian political analyst and humanitarian worker Mansour Shouman. Mansour, good to have you here with us on TRT World. See, we have been covering this conflict since it began, but this is perhaps the first time I am seeing a change when it comes to Western voices condemning Israeli atrocities. Would you agree with that?
I think it's about time. It's a little bit late, but it's better to arrive to the right conclusion than not to arrive at all. Since 2nd of March, not a single truck has come into the Gaza Strip. We are talking about 44,000 trucks of aid, of supplies, of products for babies, for pregnant women. Nothing has entered for over 11 weeks. That's over 1/5 of a year. Over the last few days, we've had over 300 abortions due to lack of medication and food. We've had over 325 deaths due to the lack of medication and malnutrition. The few trucks that are currently in Gaza that have supposedly been entered by the Israelis are still at an Israeli checkpoint. This is just by this right-wing government just trying to create some kind of positivity in the air when it comes to trying to say, look, we're still allowing aid to come in. But it's not true. We are talking about starvation that is being broadcasted live, genocide that is broadcasted live. That is why common sense countries that have strategic sense, like the Europeans, are saying that in the next few days, if this doesn't stop, what will this say about the current United Nations? What will it say about the current world order? What kind of message are we sending to our future generations, to our children, our populations? How can we allow this to happen broadcasted live? Again, we are witnessing live genocide. And if the people of the world, if the leadership of the world doesn't step in today, then what you have heard right now on the news will be exponential when it comes to numbers of those that have been maimed, injured, dying because of lack of basic food, water, medication. We are talking about over 11 weeks of nothing entering Gaza Strip. When can we put a stop to this? What are we supposed to do right now? What are the people of Gaza supposed to say except broadcast their genocide live to the world and ask for action?
Very strong words there, Mansour. You know, of course, this should have never happened. Tens of thousands of babies, children have already been killed in the Gaza Strip, and now we were running a scrap saying that 14,000 babies could die in the next 48 hours, according to the United Nations, if aid doesn't arrive to Gaza. And right now, we are not hearing any sort of positive reports when it comes to arrival of that aid. You know, let me ask you this one question, because I personally have thought about it many times. This onslaught is happening. More than 50,000 Palestinians have already been killed. Hundreds of people are dying, being killed by Israel on a daily basis in the Gaza Strip. And I mean, if you look at the political dynamics right now, it's not coming to an end anytime soon. I wonder, what do you think generations after us will look at this? How do you think they will reflect on this? Because certainly our generation has failed in stopping this, but how do you think history will remember this?
I think it's still not too late to act. I think we should always remain positive. And at the end, the right thing always happens. Look at what happened in South Africa. At the end, the right thing won. What Israel is proposing now, with the backing of the United States, by the way, in terms of getting aid, is similar to what the Nazis did in concentration camps. They want to make Gaza Strip divided into different concentration camps and start feeding them scraps of food and water and medication to whoever they want, whenever they want. Haven't they learned from what happened to them in World War II in these camps? Why are they trying to do the same to the Palestinians right now in Gaza? Didn't we say never again? It's very important to note that we can still act. We can still do something, right? And The problem right now when it comes to babies and the figure 14,000, people might think this is like a very large figure. Think about it. Hundreds of women have laid birth to newborn babies. These women, unfortunately, due to the malnutrition, cannot give breast milk to these children. And there is no milk powder, there is no milk products for these babies. And there are thousands of such babies all around Gaza Strip right now, with no breast milk, with no vaccinations, with no medications, with polluted water. Then those most vulnerable of the population, the babies, unfortunately will die. And this is at the hands of the leadership of this world that isn't able to put a stop to Netanyahu and his right-wing government. I think it's not too late. I think if we act now, we can do something. The Palestinian people in Gaza continue to prove their resiliency to the world. However, we need to act because history is writing, and years down, we will be watching this interview and our generations will ask, what did we do? What did our parents do? What did our grandparents do to make sure that whatever happened during World War II doesn't happen again in Gaza?
Fascinating insights. Mansour Shouman, thanks very much for joining me here on TRT World. I appreciate your taking out the time.